By the time modern shipping reached its peak, something subtle changed in how people spoke about the Great Lakes. The language shifted. Sailors stopped calling them routes and started calling them crossings. Fishermen spoke of permission days, mornings when the water felt right, and closed days when everything in their bodies told them to stay ashore. No memo explained it, no law enforced it. The lake taught them. Survivors of near disasters often described the same moment, the instant they realized the lake had made a decision. It came without drama. The wind didn't always rise, the sky didn't always darken. Sometimes the water simply changed texture, flat but tense, dark but reflective, too still. Engines would sound wrong, radios would hiss, and a pressure would build in the chest. No panic exactly, but recognition, the awareness that something beneath the hull had turned its attention upward. In several recorded incidents, ships reported sudden loss of maneuverability without mechanical failure. Rudders responded late, throttle changes lagged. It felt, crews said, as if the water itself had thickened, as if they were moving through a body, not a lake. One cargo vessel narrowly avoided disaster when the captain ordered engines cut entirely, an instinctive decision made without explanation. The moment the ship went dead in the water, the pressure eased, the lake relaxed, the storm that had been forming dissipated without striking. The captain later admitted he felt as if the lake had been waiting to see whether he would push back. He didn't, and he lived. The Ojibwe had always said MISHIPESHU respected restraint. It was not the presence of humans that angered it, it was insistence. In regions where human activity declined, abandoned mines, closed shipping lanes, forgotten shorelines, the disturbances faded, storms lessened, wrecks stopped accumulating, the lake returned to a deceptive calm. But when activity resumed, so did the signs. Lightning strikes returned to open water, currents shifted without warning, deep rumbling echoed through hulls at night. MISHIPESHU had not left, it had simply withdrawn. Some modern researchers began quietly cross-referencing incidents with indigenous knowledge. The overlap was impossible to ignore. The same zones marked in oral histories as dangerous matched areas of highest ship loss, strongest anomalies, and most frequent unexplained phenomena. This was not superstition, it was data. Divers exploring these regions often aborted dives before reaching planned depths, overcome by an overwhelming sense of intrusion. Several described the same sensation, a sudden certainty that something was aware of them, and that continuing would be a mistake, that they wouldn't survive. They listened. Those who ignored the feeling did not always return. MISHIPESHU's power was not explosive, it was selective pressure. The ability to wait centuries, allow belief to fade, then reassert control with a single, undeniable act. It did not chase, it did not pursue, it let humans come to it. Some nights, during violent storms, people along the shoreline reported seeing something impossible, a massive shape moving beneath the waves, just below the surface, outlined briefly by lightning. A back, a tail, a horn breaking water before vanishing again, always distant, always fleeting, enough to be remembered. The lake was not haunted, it was governed, and MISHIPESHU, ancient and immense, remained exactly where it had always been, beneath the deepest water, among copper veins and stone ridges, listening to engines pass overhead, deciding which ones mattered. The choice was never random. The lake did not forget. By now, the pattern was undeniable to those who lived near the water long enough. The lake did not strike blindly. It did not lash out like an animal startled into violence. The storms came with timing, with restraint, with purpose. People began to say the storms knew who they were for. Entire fleets could pass unharmed while a single vessel vanished. Dozens of fishermen could return safely while one boat never made it back. And when disaster struck, it often came for ships carrying specific cargo, heavy metals, industrial loads, copper pulled from land and that had never been meant to bleed. The elders said MISHIPESHU remembered every word, every wound. Weather logs from multiple decades revealed something unsettling. Some storms intensified only after certain ships entered restricted waters. Others followed vessels for hours, maintaining distance, building pressure, waiting. It was as if the lake was watching first, deciding second. One modern freighter crew described a storm that seemed to stalk them. Radar showed a dense weather mass staying perfectly aligned with their heading, drifting when they turned, pausing when they slowed. Lightning struck repeatedly around the ship, never once hitting it directly like warning shots. Then the lake changed. The water beneath the ship began to rise in a smooth, swelling dome. Not a wave, not turbulence, a lift, steady and deliberate, as if something massive had pressed upward from below. The crew felt weightless for a split second. That the engines died. When power returned, the storm was gone. The water flattened instantly, leaving behind silence so complete it unnerved hardened sailors. No wind, no rain, just breathless calm. The captain ordered an immediate retreat. The ship made it home. Others that didn't retreat were not recorded as lucky. Shoreline communities noticed another change. Animals reacted before storms ever appeared. Dogs whined and refused to approach the water. Birds abandoned nesting cliffs hours in advance. Fish vanished from shallows suddenly, leaving nets empty without explanation. The lake communicated with everything living around it, except humans who had to learn the hard way. Ojibwe stories spoke of MISHIPESHU rising closer to the surface during times of imbalance, not fully emerging, but close enough for its presence to distort weather, currents, and perception. They said when MISHIPESHU moved upward, storms followed like shadows, and when it sank again, the lake rested. Drivers and divers later confirmed that certain deep regions showed signs of recent disturbance, massive sediment displacement, crushed rock, and shifted formations that could not be explained by natural seismic activity. Something had passed through recently. Survivors of capsized vessels often described the same final moments: a sudden heaviness in the water, a pull that didn't feel like gravity, and then darkness, complete, immediate. Some claimed they felt something brush past them as they were dragged under, not rough, not violent, but vast, like being swept aside by a moving wall. None of them reached the surface again. The lake did not rage, it enforced, and MISHIPESHU was its end. By the early 2000s, unofficial shipping advisories circulated quietly among captains. Certain waters were avoided without explanation. Routes were altered not because of charts, but because of feeling. No one admitted fear, but everyone listened. The most unsettling realization came slowly. The storms were not increasing, they were becoming more precise. Fewer ships lost, more targeted, more deliberate, as if MISHIPESHU no longer needed broad displays of power, as if it exactly knew who to take and why. Somewhere beneath the cold surface, surrounded by droned steel and ancient stone, the underwater panther waited again, patient, attentive, aware. The lake breathed quietly above it, and the next decision was already forming. There is a moment in every forbidden place where curiosity replaces caution. When people stop asking whether something exists and start asking how close they can get without consequences. That moment came to the lake, not from locals, not from elders, from outsiders with equipment, funding, and the confidence that technology could force answers out of ancient water. In the late 20th century, a private research group launched an expedition aimed at mapping anomalous deep zones. Officially, it was about geology. Unofficially, the mission notes revealed another goal: identify the source of unexplained disturbances beneath the lake bed. They brought sonar arrays capable of imaging massive objects, submersible drones rated for extreme pressure, data loggers designed to remain active even in total darkness. They expected rock formations. They did not expect movement. The first descent went smoothly. Sonar returned clean images of the basin walls, sediment layers, and scattered wreckage. But as the drone passed a certain depth, the readings shifted. Sound behaved strangely. Pings returned delayed, distorted, as if the space below was swallowing and bending them before releasing them back. Then the drone registered negative space, no emptiness, but an absence shaped like something enormous. The operators adjusted angles, increased resolution, tried multiple frequencies. The shape remained long, low, curved, with an outline that refused to stay still. It was not swimming, it was coiled. As the drone drifted closer, the water temperature around it spiked sharply, then dropped below normal just as fast. Pressure sensors fluctuated violently. The drone's camera captured brief flashes of color where none should exist. Deep blues edged with copper-like glints, moving beneath layers of shadow, and then the lights failed. They lost visual feed first, then telemetry, then control. The drone did not implode, it was taken. What came back was not wreckage. 2 hours later, the drone resurfaced on its own, drifting several miles from the drop point. Its casing was intact, no external damage, no signs of collision. But inside, the memory banks were wiped clean except for the final 2 seconds. Those frames were never released publicly. Those who saw them described something impossible to forget. A vast, feline silhouette unfolding from the darkness, eyes reflecting the drone's lights like submerged stars, and beneath it, rippling structures that looked like scales made of water itself, then black. The expedition was cancelled without explanation. Equipment was packed in silence, researchers refused interviews, funding vanished, and the lake returned to calm. Within months, people noticed a change. Storms did not pursue research vessels. Fishing boats operated as usual. Tourists returned. It was as if the lake had made a statement and accepted the response. Elders said MISHIPESHU allows observation only once. The second time is never a warning. Years later, one former expedition member spoke privately. He admitted the team believed the entity beneath the lake was not territorial in the human sense. It was regulatory, a guardian of balance, not morality. It did not punish curiosity, it punished extraction. Copper, minerals, wreck scavenging, drilling, anything that took without offering respect. That was when the lake answered. The most chilling detail came last. According to the sonar logs, the shape beneath the lake had not approached the drone. The drone had drifted toward it, pulled gently, as if the water itself had leaned in. MISHIPESHU had not hunted them, it had waited, and when it was done, it sank deeper, back into a darkness the technology could no longer reach. The lake sealed itself above, calm, unbroken, but no longer unaware. By the turn of the 21st century, the Great Lakes were busy again. Ferries crossed with thousands of passengers, cargo ships piled ancient roads, now coated in steel and electronics. Vacationers paddled kayaks on calm days, oblivious to the unseen intelligence below. And yet, MISHIPESHU remained invisible, patient, watching. Stories of strange encounters persisted, though most were dismissed as superstition. Yet patterns emerged. Fishermen began reporting sounds under the water, low rumbles that didn't match engine or storms. Divers described pressure shifts, where currents moved against the natural flow, as if something enormous had changed the shape of the lake from below. Sonar occasionally registered impossible readings, voids that seemed to drift away when approached, shapes too large to be fish, too deliberate to be debris. Some accounts were almost cinematic. A couple kayaking near Lake Superior noticed the water ripple without wind. Waves rose subtly, forming concentric circles around them. Then the water seemed to push them back toward shore, gently but insistently. When they turned to look at the lake, they swear they saw a dark form moving beneath, long, sleek, and impossibly fast. The kayakers paddled frantically, but the movement kept pace with them, never breaking the surface fully. They told no one for months, afraid of ridicule. Elders explained that MISHIPESHU was not trying to harm every human. It was testing boundaries, teaching lessons, demanding respect. Those who ignored these signs sometimes vanished. Boats capsized, fishermen drowned, sometimes with the strange sensation of being guided rather than swept away. Survivors often described a calmness just before disaster struck, a clarity that came with understanding they had been noted, weighed, and judged. In modern lakeside towns, superstitions persisted quietly. Boaters sometimes left offerings at docks, small, symbolic gestures rather than prayers. A handful of locals refused to fish near certain points of the lake, especially where copper had been extracted. Even the most skeptical visitors found themselves uneasy when crossing the water at night. Some swore the lake seemed to watch them, the surface reflecting movement that wasn't their own. The lake's guardian had adopted. It no longer needed dramatic storms to assert itself. Its presence alone shaped perception. Its intelligence allowed subtle corrections, pulling a vessel off course, shifting currents in warning, or creating sensations of pressure and vibration to instill respect. It had become almost invisible in its enforcement, yet unforgettable to those who experienced it. Our journalist attempted to compile these accounts for a documentary. She interviewed fishermen, divers, sailors, and indigenous elders. Some stories were chilling, others almost impossible to verify, but a single thread ran through every account. MISHIPESHU was real, it was intelligent, and the lake belonged to it. And it had patience. Deep beneath the waves, amidst copper veins and stone ridges, MISHIPESHU waited. It did not act recklessly. It did not chase. It observed, it calculated, and corrected. And when necessary, it acted decisively. The lake, vast and patient, responded as if alive, echoing the decisions of its guardian. Every ripple, every surge, every strange light or low vibration in the water, MISHIPESHU's presence was encoded in the lake itself. The most unsettling part, even in calm weather, even in daylight, the lake had memory, and anyone crossing its surface carried themselves into its story. Some never left the chapter they entered, some survived. All were changed. By now, MISHIPESHU had become a ghost in plain sight. Ships crossed its waters daily. Ferries, freighters, fishing boats, all unaware that beneath them an ancient presence measured, judged, and responded. Yet the lake did not act blindly. Its guardian had evolved. MISHIPESHU no longer needed storms to make it point. Its influence was subtle, pervasive, almost visible, and the lake remembered. Accounts of disappearances and strange occurrences continued into modern times. Small boats vanished near copper-rich points. Divers reported faint glows along ridges, unusual currents, or a sense of weight pressing against their bodies. Radar and sonar occasionally registered massive, shifting voids, moving unpredictably, retreating when approached. These events were often dismissed by scientists as anomalies, but among the Ojibwe and longtime lake residents, these stories confirmed what had always been known. MISHIPESHU was patient, precise, and eternal. One storm chronicled in local news demonstrated this vividly. A cargo ship carrying industrial machinery entered the upper reaches of Lake Superior. The storm formed without warning, lightning striking open water in rhythmic, calculated intervals. Waves moved against the wind, currents twisted unnaturally. The crew, terrified, struggled to maintain control, but MISHIPESHU did not strike directly. It nudged, it shifted, it made the water resist them, teaching respect rather than punishing recklessly. The storm dissipated once the ship altered course, retreating into safe waters. The lesson was clear. The lake had memory, the lake had rules. MISHIPESHU enforced both. Even layer boaters and fishermen reported subtle, unnerving experiences. unexplained vibrations, water currents that pushed rather than pulled, and fleeting glimpses of massive forms beneath the waves became part of everyday lake lore. Some swore they saw shapes with copper-like glints in the dark water, coiled and moving with intelligence. Those who recognized the signs adopted. Those who ignored them were lost to the lake, or at least left changed forever. The lake's guardian was not a beast in the traditional sense. It was an intelligence woven into the water itself. Storms, currents, and pressure anomalies were extensions of its will. It did not act for malice. It did not act for hunger. It acted for balance. And in its own time, the lake remembered every light, every slight, every disrespect, every intrusion. For decades, MISHIPESHU had guided, corrected, and silently observed human activity on the lakes. It had taught patience to some, terror to others. It had maintained control over the deep, cold veins of the water that had witnessed centuries of human ambition. Even with modern technology, humans had not bested it. Steel, engines, sonar, none could overcome what had been here long before their arrival, long before industrial expansion, long before anyone dared to cross without caution. Some nights, when the lake is calm and the moon reflects perfectly across the surface, locals swear they can feel its presence. Not a shadow, not a roar, just a weight in the water, a pull beneath their boat, a reminder that someone, something is watching. MISHIPESHU waits, patiently, eternally. It does not forget, it does not forgive recklessness. It simply remains. The lake is alive, its guardian is awake, and anyone who dares enter without respect steps into a story already written beneath the waves. The legend endures, the water keeps its secrets, and MISHIPESHU, the underwater panther, remains the timeless ruler of the Great Lakes.